In some ways, my approach to soap making is kind of like making a sculpture or uh, making some sort of an art piece. Over the year and a half, I put in a lot of time learning about soap. So I'm not. It really is some sort of a journey to find out and seek information, find out information, test out the information to see if it's true or not. Some things I have found that just don't work. So it's something that you have to go through on your own to really become a competent soap maker. I'm just going to show you my process, and I'm going to use the Brambleberry 5 pound mold to make my high top soap in today. I scraped out all my palm oil. I got my palm oil here. I got my coconut oil. I have some sunflower oil right here. The olive oil. And I start out with olive oil. I also use shea butter. And I use deodorized cocoa butter. Deodorized because if I used just the unrefined cocoa butter, which I love, but don't get me wrong, but everything would smell like chocolate. So I'm not always going for chocolate. So I have my buckets ready. This is a high top soap. So I already put the piping bag in this little handled container with the piping tip. I'm just gonna use the one that just has the round opening, not a star tip. I'm going for creamsicle, cold processed soap. It's gonna remind me of those it's supposed to be reminiscent of those creamsicle uh, popsicles. Okay, I have all my oils and they're ready to go for the base, soap base. And I think I'm just going to do just a simple swirl, spoon swirl, chopstick swirl. I just poured my lye and just being really careful. Because any little bit, can just basically split the skin of your hand right open. So I wear these long gloves, and some people don't wear, these kind of gloves, dishwashing gloves, because they can't really feel. But these are pretty tight for me, and I can pretty much do most of my stuff. I just need to wear this for the part where I deal with the lye water, and then once it's mixed, I can take off the gloves for the most part and maybe just go to some smaller ones. But I like the long, gauntlet on these, because when I was wearing the medical gloves, of course the lye water would get in there and irritate my wrist. I do believe you should wear something because there's no need to hurt yourself. I wear this face shield, and you know what? This face shield gets a lot of soap batter on it. It's not like I'm going crazy and flinging soap batter all over the place, but it's surprising how much it does get kind of flecked on there. So I just think of that stuff being on my face. So I like this. It gets my whole face covered, not just my eyes. I don't need any lye burns on my cheeks or chin or wherever. So this face shield is very, very lightweight. I have my hairnet on, and I'm good to go. I made sure I got all of the oils out of the microwave because, oh my gosh, there's been more than a few times when I've made soap and then it sets up so quickly and I wonder what is going on, and then I discover I left my palm oil in the microwave. Like 4 times, 5 times it's happened. So that's total waste. Have to throw those soaps out. So I just make sure I look in the microwave just before I start to make the soap. So I have my stick blender, I have my lime water, and I am basically going to very gently put it in, you know, kind of down the shaft of this blender here. I don't know if that's really necessary. I feel like I'm going to get air bubbles no matter what. But if I can reduce it, then I guess that would be a good thing. I'm going to burp this blender because some air does get trapped under the bell here. And there we go. I'm just using like this little dollar store pitcher. Most people, I think, who have tutorials use this. It just holds enough for this brambleberry mold. I should probably have put it in the bigger pitcher, but I always forget something. There's no need to go crazy, you know, as long as you see that it's emulsified and the oils and the lye look smooth on the bell of the blender. You know they're emulsified together. If you see kind of like a weird graininess, then you know that it hasn't properly emulsified. And in some ways it doesn't matter, because when I go to put colorants and the fragrances in, I'm going to mix more with the blender, so with the stick blender. So I have some of these smaller pitchers here, and I'm going to put some of my batter in there, split off my batter into 2 small pitchers and keep some in this larger one. And let me use this one now. Just kind of have it. Okay. And I think I'm going to just use a little bit of a third color. And I think I'm going to put a little bit of green in this. So I'm going to have 4 pitchers. You know what, just to get it all set up, I'm going to measure out my fragrance oil. 2 of the fragrances, I'm going to take my gloves off for now, are going to be orange fragrances, and 1 is going to be vanilla. And this soap is a little tricky because the vanilla will turn the soap brown. So the fragrance oils have to be about 1.63 ounces. So 1.63, so I'm going to put 0.81 of each thing. So I put about 65 of the orange peel by Brambleberry. I'm putting about, ooh, that's really yellow. The rest, 80 something. I think I'm going to use this, I'm going to use the Satsuma Orange by Nurture Soap. Yep, there we go. And do a blend, scent blend. And then I'm going to do a little bit of vanilla. I'm going to do about 70 here because I went a little over with the orange. So I'm using vanilla because I want like an orange creamsicle smell. So I'm going to put a little bit of orange vibrance. We'll put a little bit of this yellow, lemon zest yellow. And put a little green. And then finally the titanium dioxide I have mixed up with my oil already. I'm just going to take that, mix that up with this little hand blender here. I've used oil-based and water-based titanium dioxide, and they're both equally good. I really, I've used both, and I've never had any problems with either one. Sometimes the white is not as strong as I want it to be, and I don't know why. Maybe I just didn't add enough, or sometimes even though I added a bunch, it wouldn't be very light, so I thought maybe it was the manufacturer on the brand wasn't very good. The stuff wasn't very good. I don't know. So now I'm going to put some in here, about 2 teaspoons, maybe 2.5 teaspoons. And I'm going to put the vanilla in the white. Now we're going to go to the yellow. I should have started with the yellow, but yellow is close enough. Okay, that's good. With the yellow. Green is always kind of a little problematic. Whatever is the coloring agent in green mica tends to morph, so it looks kind of brownish or olive, and then it will change back to the vibrant green it's supposed to look like. So the green that you see while the soap is wet is not representative of the final result. So that's basically what I want to say. So you can't go by that. Okay. So I've mixed everything that has the orange fragrance oil. We'll just see what this does to the vanilla does to the white titanium dioxide batch. I'm just going to get another mixer in. I have 2 of the same mixer, just different colors. This one's a little cracked. Because, they're very inexpensive. I bought them used on eBay. Oh, darn it. I wasn't thinking. Put this in the white. I have a new spatula here. Okay, that's enough. I have a tendency to overblend. See that? I just flung some soap on myself a little bit. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we are going to pour into our mold here. Get a towel. So let us start with the orange. Okay. The yellow. Okay. Go with a little bit of the green right here. Switch off to the white, which has the vanillin. Oh, look at that. It's got kind of a interesting texture. Back to the yellow, orange, a little bit of the green, back to the orange. Back to the yellow. You don't want to waste anything. You know, the more you scrape also is the less you have to clean up. All right, so now I'm going to take this over here and I'm just going to okay, that's good enough. There's no need to go crazy. And then I just take this little wooden stick I have, and I'm just gonna, you know, do a little swirly, like a little infinity swirl. Hold it at a slight angle. Make sure it gets, you know, mixed in. Two passes should be more than enough. Set for a little bit, and while I get the oil, while I clean this up, and while I get the oils prepared for the frosting, and then we'll have all the fun stuff like the decorating and that stuff to come. But let me just get all of this mess, it's not really that bad, cleaned up. So I'm just going to put this aside on my, just right over here behind the camera, and let that rest a bit in there.